So stones come alive. Gonna wake the stones. And I was sitting here, and I think God was almost switching the whole message for me. And I was fighting with him, saying, not all the way, okay, because I've studied a lot for this. But he's kind of, can I have some of that stuff okay, we'll see where it goes, okay? We'll see how much time he gives me. But overall, he was twisting it around there. And I'm going to read Proverbs 14:14. This was not in my plan at all, but I found it. And God, this relates to stones become alive. It says in Proverbs 14:14, it says, the backsliders in the heart be filled with their own ways, but a good man will be satisfied from above. The simple believes every word, but the prudent considers well his steps. A wise man fears and departs from evil, but a fool rages and is self-confident. Now, I looked at this and how often we relate this to non-believers, believers backsliding. You know what I feel that backsliding means here is this, that we're backsliding from our purpose. We're backsliding. We can all look at ourselves and say, I was backsliding from the very will of God in my life. I kind of got in the way, and I did things my own way. How many we can grab a hold of that? We go in our own way and say, oh my goodness, what am I doing? I need to get back on track. This is warning us, don't backslide and go in your own ways. It's not talking about becoming a non-believer. It's talking about not walking in purpose, not walking in destiny, because right after it says, but a good man will be satisfied from above. Meaning that if we choose to just do the good that God has called us to do, we're going to be satisfied from above. But the simple believers believe the word. But the wise, I like what it says, the wise man fears and departs from evil. I believe that backsliding has happened in our hearts, and we haven't seen the fullness of God because our churches, or as Christians, we have been kind of taking steps back instead of taking steps forward sometimes. And when we choose to not step forward in our purpose individually or as collectively as together, we become burned stones. And we become in a place where we don't have the grace of God no more. We don't rest in our grace no more, and we are tired, and we are weary, and we don't know what we're doing, and we are slowly going backwards. And we need to get back into a place of what our destiny is, back into the place of our call, back into the place of the desires that God has put in there, back into vision, not into your own ways. And I believe that we're going to see the stones come together. I think the foundation needs to be built, and I think we need to stop holding back and sliding back when God has called us to do certain things. And we challenge God on those certain things that we do. We sometimes don't think it's God's will that we're doing them, and we're walking away from it because it's sometimes too easy for us, and we think it has to be hard, but it doesn't have to be hard. Choose not to be a backslider today. Choose, even if you're a born-again believer, saved, and you have your fire insurance fully in place, we still can be backsliders. And because we backslide from the very thing God has called us to do, and I believe we could all raise our hand, and we could think of a time, or still have a time in our hearts right now, thinking that I should have done something, or I should be doing something, and I'm not doing it. I know I should be going somewhere, but I'm not going there. I know I should be talking to somebody, I know, but you're not talking to somebody. I feel that sometimes we stop that place, and we kind of move backwards, and we do things our own way, and we become a place where we burn out. I don't want to burn out ever, do you? I don't think true Christians should have to burn out. But I like what it says in verse 16 of that, where it says, a wise man fears and departs from evil. I want to be a wise man. I want to walk away from evil. And it actually says in the Bible that you should fear evil so that you remove it. What you mean is that get away and don't respect that place, to have that reverence of it, knowing that it can ruin your life. Respect the evil enough, knowing that if you walk in it, it's going to ruin your life. That's what fear means. It's a high level of reverence. And I'm going to choose to say, yes, that it cannot come in my house because it's going to ruin my family. It's going to ruin my life. It's going to ruin my soul. It's going to ruin my health. It's going to ruin me if I walk into that place of evil. But a fool rages in self-confidence. I think that we have to walk into a place where I think sometimes we just walk in a place and we get burnt and we start sliding backwards. And I think it's time not to slide backwards no more. I think it's time to not just look at a burned stone or a backslider as a believer that's not serving God no more, but I think it's those believers that are serving God but are not serving God in the areas they need to serve them. Any amens on that? Do you agree with me? Or am I just talking to wind here or air here? How many know that we can all grab a hold of going a deeper level in purpose and destiny with God? We can all do that.